This episode contains talks of self-harm. Be advised, all listeners and viewers. Hey guys, welcome to another episode on the Stories of a Dandelion podcast. Today we talk with my friend and sister, Drea. We talk about her life as a dandelion, as well as how her life is going now. She is a cosmetologist, and she is looking to grow in different avenues. But along the way, she's making sure that her mental health is the best, not only for herself, but her family and her kids that she is raising to be the best people they can be. Again, her story, I get to learn more about who she is and have a closer friendship than I did before. So please sit down, have your coffee or your tea, and get ready for an amazing podcast. All right, here we are, another episode on the Stories of a Dandelion podcast. Guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we have Drea, my friend, and like my little sister, who I have not talked to in a while, but it is so great to catch up today. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I've been seeing your videos. I'm like, okay,
I gotta have the fam on, all the fam.
Yeah. Yes. And it's such a good subject.
Exactly. So first question that I ask everybody. If you were 18 and you're graduating in 2023, what advice would you give yourself?
Okay. I think I told myself to just be smarter with my finances. Because, you grow up and your parents are in the military. I didn't think I thought like this, but I thought money grew on trees. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just knew anything that I needed always came around. So like when you go to college and you start to like get financial aid and they let you sign all this paperwork and I don't know, you're ready for your first credit card. Like I went crazy. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun. And I just wasn't thinking about like the future of it all. You're just thinking about right then. And I think that would have been a really major thing, like a conversation for me to have had before I moved out and like started life by myself.
So you're looking to do that with your kids?
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I want them to like just understand. And I want to, the biggest thing, I want to give them a head start. And I think a lot of like monetarily, yes, helping them with their credit score, yes, but a lot of it is like just making sure that they're knowledgeable enough to make the right decisions. Like I don't want my kids to call me every time. Like I want to instill it in them, like I want them to know like, I could do it, but I probably shouldn't, like I just want them to know better. I want them to like look past right now. There's so much more to come, so yeah.
So definitely. Well, how did you get to this point? Like, tell me about your childhood and then how you became the woman that you are today.
Okay. So my mom was in the Army and my dad was in the Air Force. They fell in love or whatever, here I am. So like that didn't last long and whatnot. And I lived with my mom and my my older sister, Tia, one of my favorite people in the world. And I don't know, it was us for a while. Next thing you know, I've got 5 sisters and my mom. And again, you don't realize this stuff until you get older, but it really shapes you. Like just experiences, like how you communicate with people. And then the military aspect, like moving around a lot. So I'm living with 6 hormonal people.
Yeah, because you got all girls. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Everyone's trying to like figure out who they are and like, like it just, I don't know. I think it taught me to be a really open person because like growing up with like a lot of women in the house, you don't differentiate much. And so like, I don't know, I just be ready to, I'm just ready to like tell it all. Like to anybody or like just really like comfortable just having like conversations. And I didn't realize that has like helped me a lot and then just being like culturally aware. Because we've been through shell shock plenty of times. Every time you get up and move somewhere, you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. And you just got to get with it. You got to make the best out of it. I think that has that shaped me as a person. And when we found out we were pregnant with my first kid, that really came in handy because I was like, this was not the plan, but you know what? Just like everything else, you got to figure it out. You got to get back to it. So yeah. And now I'm a mommy of two. I always wanted to be a veterinarian, but I actually work with hair. So I'm a master cosmetologist. And yeah, I'm just out here living my life and trying to make the best of like what I have because I've learned just that's the point. That's the point. So
Tell me, what was like, if you're okay with, like, what was the biggest thing in life other than like moving a lot that helped you adapt to change so easily and just be ready to maneuver?
I'd say my family and like distracting myself.
Yeah.
With, I don't know, whatever I could get my hands on, really. Yeah.
Yeah. High school is different.
I never even thought about it. Yeah. I hadn't really thought about it. Like, I guess I've always like had like a little like inner like self or something, like an inner thought of like just trying to figure out the best way to cope with things. And I don't know. I can't even remember how the idea popped up in my head. I don't want to say everyone else was doing it.
But everybody else was doing it.
Everyone else was doing it. Yeah. And like, you just, I don't know, you hear about other people's experiences and you get curious and you're like, I'm going to try it. So, not to giggle because it's not funny. It's absolutely horrible. But, I don't know. I was like, into everything. So, I don't know. My friends were trying alcohol. I was trying alcohol.
They know, you're 16 like, in Europe and it's illegal. So, yeah, they know. So
that's definitely like crazy to me. I think about that all the time. I'm just like, what in the world? Like, and there's still to this day over there, like you can be 16 and drink. Like we really weren't doing anything wrong, but it's still like, it's just so crazy because like to move back to the States and graduate from like a high school here is just so different. Like you don't realize how many life experiences you've already had. Like we had so much freedom.
Well, because we couldn't drive, so it wasn't like a freedom to like go to Germany or anything. But like it was freedom because we had a limited range of what we could do. And our parents, our parents knew each other. They knew we were all being safe. It wasn't like we were doing like ridiculous like out there.
And they were always
of course, it's a small community. That's like, okay. Come on. I was always afraid if my mom was going to find out something. You know that. Every time I looked around, they're like, hey, Gina, I don't even know you. How do you know my mother?
You didn't like, see me.
How do you know? I don't know you. How do you know my mother? Like,
boy, I would not look forward to going to church on Sunday.
Yeah, like, no. Always.
That's funny. But yeah, I tried like, I don't know, I tried some really stupid things like growing up that I would not wish on my kids ever.
Yeah, so sometimes we have to go through, it's unfortunate sometimes that we have to go through some experiences to know that like we would never go through them again, and then to like do everything in our power to make sure the next generation doesn't have to go through that. So like, what are some other things mental health wise that you're doing to help make sure that your kids don't go through the same things that you went through?
So I've recently started therapy again. I'd gone as a kid, I think like probably like early middle school, like early high school. I guess most of the time, like we were in Belgium, I was going to therapy. But Yeah, I've started going to therapy again. And I guess I'm just like opening up more about stuff because like as you get older, you just start to like realize why you are the way you are. And like maybe it's not even like me that made me realize. Like I think my boyfriend has like a lot of good insight into like just mental stuff. And he kind of would just point out like, hey, I just noticed this. Like, do you, you know, like, and you're like, if somebody would have told me that 5 years ago, I mean, I'd flip out. I'd be like, anyway, yeah, chill out. But for somebody like you trust and like, you know, you're just like, okay, that's a good point. And so I'm happy to like have the insight now so I can teach them that. But like going to therapy and just being able to be honest and like, this is like, this is what I think my issue is. Do you think I'm right? Like, you know, like I don't, it just, it helps a lot. And I honestly, I haven't been in like 2 months and I know the difference. Like to go and stop going, you're like, So I think I want to teach them like, if you're not feeling good, do something about it. Like you don't, it's not anything to be ashamed of, which is so weird. Like, I don't even know why I want to cry. Like, it's not anything to be ashamed of, but like when you think about it, it's so terrifying. So,
Why are
yeah.
you?
But I don't want that for them. I want them to like be able to just like say stuff and it not be so detrimental. Like, I don't want it to be life or death, you know, like I just want it to be able to, okay, well, we can sit and we can talk about it, or you can go talk to someone. Like, you know, I want to keep it light.
Well, like,
it doesn't have to be so like.
Growing up, did you feel like you couldn't speak about certain things because they might say you're crazy? There's no way you could feel that way, you know?
No, which is like really weird. Like, I feel like I've always been able to talk to my mom about anything. Like, even now, it's so weird. I'll call her, and if I'm like just mentally like not feeling good, I can plan like to just get on the phone and be like, yeah, I'm fine. Like 10 minutes in, I'm doing this. Like, I'm like, oh my god, you know, like, so I think maybe I haven't always appreciated the reaction, but I've always appreciated the openness, like to be able to like say whatever I need to say. Because I know like she might be mad or she might be like however she feels about it. I'm not gonna know. Like my mom would never like come out and be like, I hate this for you. It'll be like, I'm gonna like sit back and let you see, and then if she needs to, she'll step in. Like. So I think it is safe, but it's always just a really difficult thing to like say.
Yeah, your mind gets the best of you, right? Like you assume that they'll assume the worst of you, but until you say it, you just never know.
I've already made up my mind on how the conversation is going to go before I have it, you know? Yeah. And I guess I didn't realize it, but like, I don't know. I don't think I have anxiety because I've grown up with like some of my siblings having anxiety, and I'm like, I know what anxiety looks like. But I think that like when I do get like emotionally overwhelmed, I think that that's what that is, and that's so crazy that like I'm 26 and I'm just now realizing, like, I thought I was the toughest person in the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so weird.
I think it's more of we have coping mechanisms growing up, and then we outgrow those coping mechanisms, or we don't want to do those anymore, and you have to actually face the fact that there's more going on, you know? So yeah, I understand you. I said the same thing. I had my first panic attack when I was in college, right before I started college.
Really?
Yeah. Was going on my way to my first day, and I was almost there, and I was in the car, and I just couldn't breathe. I had no idea what was going on with me. I had to pull over. I called my dad. I was like freaking out, and it's hard to realize that the person that you thought you were in high school and that you thought you were going to bring into the world is not the person you are, you know? And that panic attack opened my eyes about a lot of things that as much as I thought I was able to adapt to change, I wasn't. Like, I'm not the greatest at it. I do think it's a stint of me being in Belgium for so long and then finally coming back to the US, it's a bigger change than what I was used
Yeah.
to. So yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from when it comes to like having to finally face up to your coping mechanisms and realizing, oh,
Yeah.
that's not strong. It was actually weakness, you know? Yeah.
Right. It's so, I don't know, it's so weird. Like, especially like I look back at like okay, so I don't know if you know this. You probably do. I wouldn't be surprised. It wasn't like the best
Okay.
kept secret. But like I used to cut myself like when we were in Belgium. And I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
why I did it. Well, I don't know. I knew how I felt
Mm-hmm.
after I did it. But when my mom found out, like, of course she was like devastated. I mean, she just
Yeah.
cried. And I felt so bad because I couldn't
Yeah.
tell her why. Like I was just like, I don't know. I tried it one day and like it did what I
Yeah.
wanted it to do, you know? And so that's why she got me signed up
Mm-hmm.
into therapy. And it's just so weird, like, to look back at it and I'm like, I can't believe that
Yeah.
was me. Like, because I feel like I've come so far in, like, how I communicate and cope. Like, it's just crazy. Especially because, like, it's not like I was, like, this
Yeah.
sad kid.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But you never
So,
know what triggers it. And you're not the only one that was in our high school cutting
yeah.
yourself. Or, you know,
Yeah.
because so it's just one of those things where it's controllable because you're doing it and it's a way for you to be able to control your circumstances. And it's super,
Yeah. That's what
yeah,
my therapist said.
it's super unfortunate. You know, it's super unfortunate because a lot of military brats do it because it's the one thing they can control.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I actually didn't know. When we were in high school, I kind of figured that maybe there was something going on, but I wasn't too sure.
Yeah.
Then again, like I've had in conversations in the past, a lot of us were in our own heads, not really knowing how to be there for one another,
Yeah.
and it's hard. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I am
Mm.
so happy and proud of your mom that she, you know, got the help that you needed and was there to support you in every way. Your mom
Oh,
is
yeah.
amazing. She's an
You
amazing
need
woman.
healing. Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's crazy to think how much of us go through all these mental health issues and we don't have a place to really talk about it.
Yeah. I think that's when it gets the hardest. Is like when you just feel so like backed up
Mm-hmm.
in a corner. You're like, it's like
Yeah.
overwhelming. And it's weird. Like I still get that feeling, but I'm like, I just know better. You know, I'm like, I might even be like, time
Yeah.
to call my
Yeah.
mom. Like, So it is crazy. Like I've learned a lot, and I feel like I've coped as best as I could. But like, I don't know. Having kids definitely like adds a little extra sprinkle
Yeah.
of anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, I'm raising these little munchkins, and like they've got to be great people. It's
You
crazy,
put a lot of stress on
but
yourself.
it's cool.
You know, you are raising
I
them to be
know.
great people because you are a great person. And you know
Yeah.
that. Like, you know, they have their own personalities. They're going to go through their own struggles. I think, you know,
Right.
I know I'm not a parent yet, but when I become a parent, I know it's going to be stressful and I'm going to be sitting there like, Jesus, I have this little person that I'm in charge of and I have to do my
Yeah.
best to make them who they're meant to be. But ultimately, you know, us being church girls, you got to give it to God. Like, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you do your best, right?
Way.
And He'll do the rest. So,
Yeah. If I didn't have him, I don't know where
shoot,
I'd be.
girl, all of us.
Honestly, like I was like, I'm not
I
going to
know.
church after I finish school, and like I'm not gonna lie, I don't. But I feel like I can still
Yeah,
talk
of
to him anytime I
course.
need to. Like we have several conversations
That's
a day,
good.
so yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
describe him as my imaginary
That's true.
friend. That's what I told people, like, when I have kids and like if they talk to their imaginary friends, I'm encouraging it, like, because one day they're gonna be like, I have to talk to
Yeah.
God. Well, act like He's your imaginary friend. You can't see Him, but He's there. So
Yeah, that's so funny. That's cute.
shh, don't tell nobody.
I like that. You're
But yeah, I talk to him all day, every day. I'll be
that's
like,
so funny.
yo, like something weird will happen. I'm like, God, really? We
Yeah.
gonna do this right now? We gonna do this today?
No, for real. For real. I'm like, okay. I know
Yep.
we're gonna get there. It's fine.
So
It's time.
exactly. It just, takes time, takes growth, it takes learning, praying, all of that. But
Yeah.
your kids are going to be the person that they're meant to be. You're a great mom. You have a
Yeah.
great mother yourself. Your sisters are all around you. Your boyfriend sounds amazing. I've only met him once, but he seems like an amazing
He
dude.
is.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
He's pretty.
you got a good
He's pretty him.
you got a good foundation. So don't worry too much about it.
Thank you. Yeah. I guess like it's just I don't know. I guess it's just always that
Yeah,
little thing. But like I know I'm being completely irrational. I know I am.
it's okay. You just have to remember, like, you have a
But
village.
thank you.
Yeah, you
You
have
are
a
right.
village. Like, we were all raised by a village.
Yeah.
None of our parents did it alone. And they're still not doing it alone. Shoot, they're
Honestly.
all still together, hanging out all the time. So
Right. So feminine, yeah. It's so funny. It's crazy we all ended up like
mm-hmm.
so close, like just in proximity is
Yeah,
ridiculous. Okay,
go
can
ahead.
I be random?
No, you're good.
Sorry. Do you feel like time is
Oh,
going
dude, of
faster?
course. Of course. When you're a kid, like, time
Yeah.
goes so slow. But, like, as you get older, the days go faster because now you have a job. And now you have
Yeah.
to do this. And now you have to, like, figure out your life. And where did the day go? I was supposed to figure out my life yesterday, but today's a new
Yeah.
day. Like, so, of course, yes, yes, yes. I mean, I'll be 28 in 5 months. Yeah,
That's so crazy.
it's a little scary.
That's so crazy.
you know, Kirsten
No,
and
it's
Paris will
not.
be
I mean,
30.
okay. I feel like the older we get, like the the younger people aren't like where
Mm-hmm.
we were mentally,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And so I feel like that means that we're actually younger than we are.
I don't know about that for us. I think Belgium made us a little bit more mature. All the stuff we were doing and went through,
Yeah.
and I also think the military made us a little bit more mature because we had to grow up quickly.
There was
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
structure.
So
Yeah.
maybe for some people, yeah. I feel like a lot of people in our
Yeah.
generation do act like they're like kids, but it's also
Hmm.
how were they raised, right? Like,
Yeah. I feel like I'm trying to find like a healthy
yeah,
like middle. Like I don't want to like I don't know. I don't want to what's the word? Like be
mm-hmm,
complacent. Like just because of what people think my life is
yeah,
supposed to look like at my age. But like I also know that like I have to have a like level of responsibility because I do have children and like I'm trying to like
yeah.
raise a family. And so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because I hang around with those young kids all day.
Maybe,
Now,
maybe.
where I
it's
work. I
it's
don't know.
um it's different
But
because you have kids and all of that before I do, but different experiences make you grow up quicker, no matter if it's having kids or if it's moving halfway across the world and starting over. So it's just,
yeah.
you may feel older because of your experience, and those kids may seem younger
Yeah.
because they don't live the same life you do. You know what I'm saying? So it just always, it depends
Okay.
on the experience, but you've always had more experience than other people because of your life. So, well, it's
I like
unfortunate
that.
sometimes, but but most times you be like, this is an amazing life. And I bet if you went back, what would you do differently?
Hmm. I don't think I'd
Exactly.
change anything, which is so weird, but I'm pretty
See?
sure I would.
Exactly. You wouldn't change anything because you
Yeah.
love your life, even though it was unexpected in a lot of ways. You love who you are
Yeah.
now.
I still like the person
Mm-hmm.
to be. Yeah. I think that's why had I don't know. Dang. I feel like Yeah, had we have had this conversation like maybe even 3 years ago, my mind would be so like negative, like towards how I grew up. But I think like now that I'm older, I just realized like that's what was always going to happen. You know, like I was always just meant to like think the way I think. I don't know. It's
I
weird.
think it's one of those things where we all go through that time where we like don't appreciate the way we grew up the way we should. We all go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as soon as we're out of it, it's like, oh crap. I had food on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I had food on the table. I had health insurance.
What was the
You know
problem?
what I'm saying? Like, dude, I can do what I want, get money when I want it. Like, you know, and then it's like,
right.
Oh, snap. Outside of the military, completely different world. Like, you were just thrown into the abyss and, like, go after life.
Yeah.
It's like...
Definitely could have been, like, prepared more. I feel like it had a lot to do with, like, just the pressure, like, that you put on yourself once you, like, move out, because you're expected to be great. You have no choice. I have raised you, like, and I've, you know, done all this. Like, you got two options. One is the military, one is college. And if you do college, be great. Like, you know, there was just those were the only two options we were ever even given. Like, that is crazy. That's wild. And it took a very long time for me to like even realize like people are really out here like doing other people are owning their own business.
Exactly. I think it's, and I told PJ like, that because he was the one kid in our school to go and be like, I'm doing music. I'm not going to college. I'm not going in the military. Man. And we're all like, that's not a successful. We're like, according to our structure, that's not a successful road. Yeah. Like, no, like it doesn't add up. Like military or college or both. Like, but there's no in between because like our parents were in the military, and then you know, did you do like I did, start comparing your life to your mom's life? Like as I got older, I started comparing and being like, oh, my mom was at this stage when she was my age. Oh, she was at this stage when she was my age, and I'm not there. You know?
Oh, no, good. Only because, okay, so my mom was a teen mom, right? I feel like she put that expectation on us a lot more than anything else she had ever put on us. It was like she was just always don't do it, you know. And so basically once I hit 17, and it sounds horrible, once I hit 17 and didn't have a kid, I was like, all right, I did it. Like, you know, like I feel like that was really her biggest expectation of us. And so when I think of like me comparing myself to my mom, I think about like, how many kids she had and like at what ages she was having them, you know, only because like I just realized that realistically, like the military wouldn't have been for me. I would have tried it younger. If I would have, I would probably still be in. But yeah, you were killing it. I was going. The plan was to go to college and then get my degree. So, you know, me and money are also best friends. So, like, I was like, if y'all gonna pay me more, I'll put in the time. I'll get that degree, and then I'm gonna go in. And then I got pregnant my last year of college, and I just kind of started. You know, I knew I wanted a family. I didn't grow up with my dad. You know, I was around him, like we hung out and stuff, but like a live-in dad, you know, like, so that changed a lot for me. And so I think that's when I probably stopped comparing myself. Yeah. I think that for a lot of reasons, I didn't want to be like my mom. She is great. You know, she's funny, but she has her moments, like every parent has their moments. And I knew there were just a lot of things I didn't want to be like, which is why I moved so far. I mean, she knows this, so. And so, like, I just didn't. I guess I was comfortable with just, like, having my own plan, but I've always been a really hard-headed person. So she'd tell me don't turn left. I'm gonna turn left just to see what happens. So,
well, there you have it, guys.
you know, for real. So yeah, but I could understand that, but I think if I ever tried to do that, it'd be too much pressure. Our parents were doing some incredible things. Like by the time we were able to comprehend what they were doing,
did it before
like
I was even in her belly.
Knocking the ball out of the park. I mean, girl, your mom was nothing to play with. So
exactly.
yes, she was one bad, you know. So yeah, yeah. Definitely. I don't do that to yourself.
It's unfortunate
because you were always like amazing in your own ways, though. Like I get it, like mom daughter like dynamic, but like looking at you, comparing you to your mom, I was like, she was so much fun. You know, like there were just all these like amazing like things about you, like that you contributed to everyone around you all the time.
Thank you.
So
yeah, I don't know.
Problem.
Yeah,
never crossed my mind.
Thank you so much. No, I don't know. I can tell you why I compared myself to my mom, and I sometimes still do. Like you said, it doesn't make sense that I compared her to me because we're alike, but we have so many differences. It's ridiculous. So yeah, it was a learning curve, but I think mentally it helped me, and I'm sure mentally it helped you because you didn't go down the road.
Yeah, for sure. And that might have started the whole proving you wrong like mentality. To be honest, I didn't realize it, but yeah, just because you say this, but we'll see. You know? So yeah, it's crazy, but it's crazy to like, I don't know, just look back and just realize like they were just doing what they thought was best. And like you can appreciate them for that, but you can also be like, he was wrong.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know, like yeah. I think once I learned to do that, I had like released a lot. Like it was just okay. I can still like love you, and I can still think you're a good mom. I can still think you taught me to be like who I am. Like, but I don't have to like agree with how you went about things. You know, like everyone's always going to have their differences, and I think that's why I don't argue with people. I don't know.
I get you. Yeah. I get you. It's pointless. You know, if they're not going to hear your side, there's no point in having the conversation or having the argument because there's two sides to a story, and if one side's not willing to listen, I just exactly.
Just like, okay, energy.
Cool. Keep it pushing. But yeah, you sound a lot like you remember Brianna Hines. Yeah, you sound a lot like her. Like she's like, yeah, you know, there's certain things that she's not going to do that her parents, you know, did, you know, and it makes sense. I think it's for all of us. Like there's certain things I'm not going to do that my mom did, and it's just like a continuous thing where we're all just trying to do the best for our kids, and that's what you're doing. So can't. And I'm sure your kids are going to be the same way, though.
They're cool
your kids are going to be like, well, Mom.
I'm so, like, my therapist, she thinks I'm so weird because I've, like, just cried in sessions, like, telling her, like, you know, how I want to be a good mom and, like, that they expect me to be a good mom and, like, just the patience and, like, I think about when they're going to be 16. Like, that's already crossing my brain. Like, I'm already thinking about Sienna, like, having an attitude. Or, like, I don't know. Like, I just get so, like, whoa. Like, I don't know. I know that they're going to happen to me like I happened to my mom. And I'm just, like, already mentally prepared.
That's good. Because as a parent, you know, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We're not going to do everything right. Even as people, we make mistakes. We're not going to do everything right. And I think that's something we forget, that You know, we're all going to make mistakes and do stupid stuff sometimes, or not say the right thing or not do the right thing, but best intentions sometimes go a long way. Just don't worry too much.
Actually, that's
don't
perfectly
worry
said.
too much. I see it on your face. Stop worrying so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a worrywart now.
I know.
It's so weird though, because I used to think I wasn't a good mom because I wouldn't like I don't worry like if Sienna starts coughing, I'm not like, oh my god, it's COVID. You know, I'm like, oh, it's just a cold, she's fine. But like I literally worry about how they're gonna feel about me once they're adults. Like that's so weird. Why does that cross my brain? I don't know. But I don't know.
They're gonna feel the same way that you felt
So
about your mom.
Yeah. Hopefully not. I won't be able to take it.
They're gonna go through all the stages. Girl, they're gonna go through all the stages. Can't stand my mother. Oh, I love you so much. You're my best friend. True. I can't say, you know, it's good. We go through all the stages still now. Yeah.
No, for continuous thing. I'll be like, yeah, I'll talk to her in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't like her right now. Like, I need a break.
Just a little break.
Oh man, like you just go through the stages all the time.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick break to ask if you are enjoying this episode. Go ahead and follow us on Stories of a Dandelion right here on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasts, as well as follow us on all of our social media accounts. Let's create this community full of military brats who feel that they're okay with opening up about their mental health, about sharing their journey, what they're going through, and create a place for beautiful healing through stories. So again, please go ahead and follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, as well as all of the social media accounts. Now let's get back to today's episode.
So your thoughts hit you before you go to sleep?
Do they hit you?
My thoughts hit me as soon as I wake up.
So what do you? So how do they not hit you before you go to sleep? Like,
I really don't know. Like when you said that, I was like, you know what? People really do have thoughts that keep them up at night. Like, I want to say that it's just as simple as like I really like to sleep, and like as soon as I'm tired, I'm just gone. I think the only thing that could ever probably keep me up at night is like if I got in a fight with like my boyfriend. Like I think that's about it. But my problems usually don't come to me until the morning, and it's the first thing I think about, and I'm immediately like, okay, what are we tackling today? Yeah. You know, like I could only imagine like thinking about it before you go to sleep.
I think about it all day though. Like mine is like if I'm not busy doing something, I'll think about whatever is just in the back of my head talking to me and just like trying to get me to think this out of outrageous stupid stuff that makes no sense. And then before bed, I used to think like, you know, as like we grew up, like the light and the darkness, it was always like a fight. Like that's how we grew up. Like, you know, not realizing that God created light out of darkness and that he has control of the darkness. And so I always used to think like the devil has more power in the dark. So I would just allow whatever defenses I had during the day kind of be broken down. And then like it would boom, 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 hit me over and over again. Yeah. And then, you know, and this is recently me realizing that like God has control of the dark just as much as he has control of the light. Like walk me through the shadow of death. I can't say it right now. I can't think about it. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so what I'm thinking. Me too. I need to get back in the Bible. I need to get back in the Bible. I know. But yeah, you know, and I'm just like, well, he protects me in the dark. Why am I not protecting my own mind in the dark? So I do my best not to overthink, and I like shut myself off. It's like I stop work at 7 now. Like if I'm doing anything, like I'll do my 9 to 5, and then if I'm doing a podcast or something, depending on like if I'm recording, it's completely different. But like if I'm editing and stuff, I'm done by 7. I take that next hour to just watch a TV show because usually it's on in the background, but I'm not paying attention to it. Watch a TV show, get ready for bed, And then I get into bed, and it's kind of like making my brain slowly shut down so that all these thoughts don't get in my head. But it's really hard. It can be really hard sometimes. Sometimes it's an easy night, and it's like, oh yeah, we had a good day. Let's go, whatever. And then sometimes it's like, golly, today was stressful. Like, man, I'm not ready for tomorrow, you know? And it's like all the thoughts of tomorrow. So yeah, and even you say it hits you in the morning. It hits me in the morning too. As soon as I wake up, I think about all the problems. So it's a continuous battle with me and my mind. But it's on the rise. It's on the rise, which is oh, thank
I believe
you.
in you.
I feel like
no problem. I think that positive thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Really
I have
help.
my affirmations up and everything. Like yeah.
Girl, I've been fighting myself to not put sticky notes everywhere like Mary Jane.
Get them. Yeah,
it's such a good idea. I'll open my nightstand and I'll see some of them. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. All right, remember that today.
I have all mine on my closet door too.
Like, really?
You see them. I have to see them. Like, because it's hard. It's hard. I don't know how this became about me, guys. It's supposed to be about Drea. We're gonna get back to Drea. I'm sorry. It's all good.
Sorry.
But
I think I like okay, so mental health for me, I think that I like growing up surrounded myself with people who had issues worse than me, you know? So like how you said, like making other people happy made you happy. I feel like to like diagnose someone's problem and then like try and make them feel better was like, that was me, like, you know, like I guess remedying stuff within myself, but not realizing it, like just trying to fix other people. I think I was really good about that. And then I'd try and fix other people so much that I'd break myself. Yeah. Like in a way.
Yeah, growing up, we probably, we thought we'd heal ourselves if we healed somebody else. And then, like, if you lost that person or if something changed, like, you feel like you're broken, you know? And it's like you're broken even worse. Yeah, worst. Don't do that, guys. Not a smart idea. Not a smart idea. I know, yeah. We realized it too late.
No, for real. For real. Because, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, to think, like, at our age, like, one of us, like, was in a psych ward. Like, you know, like, it's not a psych ward. That's probably not the word
anymore,
to use. A facility.
Mental health facility.
Like, to think, like, at our young age. You said what?
That works,
mental health facility. Yeah. Like, someone at our young age, like, is going through things, like, that bad, you know? And I think that it snapped a lot of things for me, like, into perspective. Like, it was like, okay, I'm doing all of this and I'm acting out the way I am. And, like, they really have, like, a problem. You know, like, who am I to say that I'm more hurt than they are, you know? And so it just made me kind of, like, put things, like, into perspective a little better. But I feel I would love to sit here and say, like, my mental health is everywhere it needs to be, but obviously from this podcast.
It's a road for everybody. Don't worry, you're not alone.
I'm still getting there. And I think it is always just, like, just about putting in the work and, like, just being willing to, like, be open with yourself. Like, I have a lot of insight with myself. I will sit and I will stare into the mirror. Like, if I feel like I'm about to lose it, I just sit there, I stare, and I talk to myself. You got to sometimes. And I say, okay. Like, okay. What's really going on? Like, why do you feel the way you feel? What triggered this? Is it that bad? Do you need to step away? Like, you know, like, it's just, I think, I don't know. I think I'm still learning. I'm definitely still learning. I'm still learning about myself and, like, how I choose to, like, deal with my stuff.
Guess what? It doesn't get easier. I'll tell you that much. I'm only a year, like, we're only a year apart, but, like, it doesn't get easier. It just, like, it's one of those.
I think.
No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. I think the dysfunction of it all is like the one thing I'm used to. You know, like if I wake up, I could be totally fine like yesterday, and if I wake up today and I feel like total crap, I'm immediately like, okay, it's gonna be one of those days. You know, and I'm kind of just like, let me just separate myself. You know, like it can't be like catty. I got kids. Like, you know, I just need to like, you know, go talk to myself in the mirror, pull it together. So you can do this, you know. So it's just a constant like.
My question though is, you say you're used to the discomfort. What if one day the discomfort that you're so used to and comfortable with becomes different, and like you get into a healthier mindset, and you wake up with like this positive mindset every day? Like, do you think you're going to be able to handle that? Because some people can get in that and they go find something to put them back in that negative headspace. Do you think you can handle that when it comes?
I think so. I think it might even take me like a little while to realize, like, hey, I feel lighter. It'd probably be like the third day waking up, like, did I just smile? You know, like, because like I said, like my problems hit me in the morning. I wake up very heavy. Like I'm just, no one talk to me. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. And yeah, I guess, yeah, I might notice immediately. I don't know. Yeah, I probably would. That was a good one.
Best. Here we are. Last question right here. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Mentally, career-wise, and relationship-wise?
Okay. Well, relationship-wise, I better be married.
Well, that's not a question for me. I'm not.
Big caps. Big caps. Yeah. I see myself being married because I definitely want my kids to like, I don't know, God forbid they realize mommy and daddy are boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, one day. So yeah, that needs to happen. But okay, what else? You said career-wise. So career-wise, I'm gonna do the mental health one last. Career-wise, I'm open to a couple options, but preferably I'd love to like successfully be running my own business. I don't know if I see myself teaching people one day. What I do is in terms of like hair time studio, I don't know. But my second, like another thing that I'm thinking about, because I am the lab assistant at the school I work for, I could see myself teaching the students. I enjoy like the atmosphere and like it's fun. So I can see myself doing that. And if I do that, that'd be like a long-term career thing. So I wouldn't mind, you know, give me a retirement check. So mental health wise, I hope that I'm more like sure of myself when I make decisions. I still haven't figured out why there's this little voice in me that's like, are you sure? You know, like anytime I like get ready to make a big decision, or like that feels like I need someone else's opinion on it. Like I want to be 100% sure in myself. And I think that if I can get there, I think I can make a lot of like decisions that I need to make, you know, like just long-term wise. I think that like being a successful adult for the children is like a really big priority for me. And so, yeah, I think if I can just learn to make my decisions, like I couldn't even tell you where I see myself like in 5 years professionally. I couldn't give you a for sure answer, you know, like I know that I want to be doing what I love, but that's about it. I think if I can like just make those decisions, I'll feel better about my mental health. I think I won't have so much like weight on me.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know? When you find out how you can, you know, be 100% sure of your decisions, let me know. Let me know, because
yes, girl, I'm gonna go find the fountain.
I don't think there's a fountain out there. It's always gonna be a voice in your head saying, "Are you sure it's your decision?" And it's unfortunate. Like even if God is like, even God is like, that's the way, and that voice is like, "Are you sure?" And it's like,
yes, that is the hardest one for me. I'll be like, just send me the sign, and he can send the sign 10 times, and I'm like, Are you sure it's still in there? Like,
You gotta take that leap of faith.
This might not be the sign.
It's hard. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like, depend on the trust and faith that you've already got and make that decision and know, like, the pros and cons of it and go with it, stick with it. And, it may not work out, but at least you tried, because it's the what ifs that you don't want to live with later on in life.
Facts. Yeah, that's definitely like a cannot do.
Well, it's been enjoyable, Drea. Told you this was gonna be fun. And
it was so much fun.
Drea, thank you again for being on the podcast. And to my audience out there, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. And if you guys enjoyed this episode and think that it can help somebody else out there, please share the episode and go follow us on all platforms. Let's work together to make a community where we can talk about mental health in the most open and loving and healing way possible. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you all next Military Brat Monday.